I'd like to talk about mixed or cross-racial marriage in South Africa, or just in general. And my viewpoints and from what I've seen is obviously going to come from South Africa, because that's where my experience of it is. And I think I'm in quite a good and unique perspective to be able to talk about this topic, considering the location and the history of my nation. And South Africa at this point in time is still very much I would say, segregated place. Generally speaking, most white people keep to themselves, most black people keep to themselves, Indian people keep to themselves, colored people keep to themselves. People just generally keep to themselves. And I don't see that there's anything directly wrong with it, because our cultures are very, very different in general. I mean, there's colored people a little bit closer in culture to white people, and colored people are a little bit more closer to some of the cultures are a little bit closer to each other than others. But in general, our cultures here in South Africa are very, very different, and it creates problems, very loud. It creates problems in the sense that people are just generally more comfortable hanging around people of their own culture. Now, mixed race marriage is happening, but it's very minimal. And the people that do decide to do it suffer a lot. It's not just a case of la la la, I'm gonna marry a black person, or la la la, I'm gonna marry a colored person, or la la la, I'm gonna marry an Indian person. It's not that simple. Yes, apartheid has been dead for 30 years, and we have wonderful people in this country. Come and see for yourself if you don't believe me. We're some of the greatest, nicest, happiest, friendliest people that you'll ever find. But it's not a case of being so easy to just go, me as a whitey, I want to go and marry an Indian girl. It's not that simple, because of the cultural differences. And plus, you do still have a lot of political hate being sown from all angles, not just white guys being racist and negative and derogatory towards other races, but you got all the other races being derogatory to everybody else too. So it's just not as simple as saying, hey, I'm gonna go marry a black girl or an Indian girl or a colored girl. Big problem is the culture. But why I say that I have a bit of experience and have a little bit of authority to speak on the matter is that my father, his second marriage was to a colored woman. Now, culture is very different. I think my father struggled quite a lot in the beginning. The average white person here is quite individualistic, and likes to sort of do things on their own, small groups if they do things in groups, and can't handle a lot of people at once, and frivolity and stuff like that. People who need more alone time, if I could put it that way. Whereas my stepmom, being from colored community, way more family time, way bigger groups of family, way more time with the family. And that's just something that I, for example, wasn't used to. My dad wasn't used to it. And I don't know if he ever got used to it. I think he got better at it. But I don't think he was ever 100%, comfortable with having so many people around all the time. And fantastic people that they are. Fantastic as my colored family is, they it's cultural differences do have an impact. Now, I've had lots to say about differences in religion and relationships, in where you come from, geographically speaking, culturally, in relationships. But what I can say is that even though it is extremely difficult to have, let's say for example in South Africa, a mixed race marriage, because people judge you, people look at you funny, people whisper, people stare, people say ugly things behind your back, people assume, people don't understand, the backlash is pretty hectic. But that is not, gotta kill that alarm, that is not the issue. The issue is, how do you and that person, is it from a different culture group and a different race group, how can you then build a successful relationship? How can you build a successful marriage coming from a different culture, different race group, even in a country like South Africa that is so terribly racist, terribly racist? In my experience, there are way more racist places than South Africa, but that's a topic for another day. Maybe not a topic ever, because it bores the life out of me. But what I'm trying to say is, the best way, if not the only way, to have a mixed race marriage is if both of you are believers. If both of you are genuine believers in Christ, then the differences completely disappear. The race disappears, the cultural things disappear, the history and the hurts and the prejudices and all that negativity just disappears. And then it is very possible, very possible, to be in a marriage or a relationship with somebody that is not from your race group, or from your cultural group, or from your country. But if that is not in place, if Christ is not there, you're gonna have a hard time. That's my experience from observing my father and my stepmom for, it was like 27 years before my father died that we were married. And my experience in my own relationships. If Christ is there, you can overcome anything. If Christ's not there, unfortunately I have to say to you, good luck. Drop a comment if you have one.